Hello, Dexter Morgan fans, and welcome to my next Dexter Resurrection related video. Before I get into that, though, it's extremely important. If you haven't watched the original 96 episodes of Dexter, the 10 episodes of Dexter New Blood, the season of Original Sin, then it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And I know that the finale of Dexter Resurrection Season 1 is out. It was available in Russian. I actually have it in my inbox. I'm not watching it. If you've seen the episode, great. That's okay. Please don't spoil anything in the comment section. If you want to comment something, put good predictions, JDev, or something like that. But I ask you to please not spoil anything in the comment section so I can go into this episode as blind as possible. And to all of you that have watched any of my Dexter Resurrection content, I thank you. If you've subscribed to my channel, I really appreciate that. I respond to all comments unless, of course, I somehow don't get the notification. But I found a way around that to go into YouTube Studio and X out all the responded comments, and usually it shows me every single comment, even if it's a swear word or anything like that. So I appreciate all of you, and I respond to all of you. And if anybody has a question Dexter related, please make sure that you leave that in the comment section and subscribe, motherfucker, as I love talking with all you Dexter fanatics, just like me, just like the legendary Crazy Coffin Man, Brad Hawk Talk, Vinny Lima, Rusty Reels, Troy McClure, and of course, T. Parker Evans. So in this video, what I'm going to be doing is giving my predictions for the finale of Dexter Resurrection Season 1, as well as my New York Ripper predictions and my thoughts and my theories. I did something very similar for Dexter New Blood, going into the finale of that, which we didn't know was going to be a series or season finale. While I wasn't really successful with any of my predictions, it's something similar I did. That right now is posted in my community tab. You don't have to go too far to find it if you want to check that video out. Although I do a lot of rambling like I'm doing now at the start of the video and don't really get into anything right away. So, going to give my predictions for the New York Ripper at first. There's a lot of different people that have speculated that are the New York Ripper. And I thought I'd go over all of them real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on each one of them. Just kind of give a yay or nay or not a chance or something like that. So let's start things off with Tanya Martin. Of course, Tanya Martin, played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, was in Dexter Original Sin. We do not know the fate of her character. She was not in the original Dexter series. She just showed up in Original Sin. I'm going to say not a chance in hell. Tanya Martin is not the New York Ripper. That's just a dumb idea. But hey, it's fun to speculate. Soderquist, he was a background character in the original Dexter show. He's actually in 70 plus episodes of Dexter. He was at Dexter's wedding. To my knowledge, I don't believe Soderquist has any speaking lines. Maybe he's still active at Miami Metro Homicide? Probably not, but I don't think Soderquist is a New York Ripper, although it would be pretty cool. Anton Briggs, that was Dev's boyfriend in Season 4, or Season 3 and the start of Season 4 of Dexter, got skinned by the pointless villain, the Skinner. It would be cool to see Anton back, because he just kind of left the show after Deb started messing around with Frank Lundy again, but I'm going to say that Anton is not the New York Ripper. Nikki Spencer, that was Aaron Spencer's son that he cut limbs, or was it a finger or toe? I can't remember what it is now. Original Sin isn't as fresh in my head. Some moments are, but not every moment. It's not going to be Nikki Spencer, although that was 20 years or 10 years before the original Dexter. Timing-wise, he might be a little older, but I don't think that Nikki Spencer is the New York Ripper, and we'll probably never hear about him again, unless, of course, they decide to come out with an Original Sin Season 2. Stefan, that's Harrison's boss at the Empire Hotel. No. Gigi, I don't think Gigi is the New York Ripper. I do think it's possible that she has a connection to the New York Ripper, or potentially Prater, Charlie, or somebody else, Oliva. It's possible, but I don't think ultimately that she is the New York Ripper, although she may be the one that's recording those voice things. But I don't think it's true. I don't think it's going to happen, but she certainly is suspicious. And speaking of the devil, Detective Oliva, that is Claudette's partner on Dexter Resurrection, he is very suspicious in my opinion. And out of all the characters that I'm talking about right now to be the potential New York Ripper, I think he's the most suspicious and the most likely candidate if it's somebody that we've actually seen already. Then we have Jimmy from Season 2, Episode 1, the blind guy, the voodoo guy, played by Glenn Plummer. That's a pick by the legendary Crazy Coffee Man. I think he was more or less kidding about it, but I don't think he is the New York Ripper, although the age would match up. Leon Prater. Now, if you asked me who the New York Ripper was before Episode 9, I would have gave a strong indication that it was Leon Prater. But at this point, I don't think that Leon Prater is the New York Ripper. I think there's a 0% chance that Leon Prater is the New York Ripper. Charlie. There's some speculation that Charlie is the New York Ripper. She has killed before. Don't think it's happening. She seems to be disgusted by these killers. So I don't think that Charlie is the New York Ripper. Then we have Vinny, that's the Elsa's landlord, the mean guy that's played by the Sopranos guy, with Dexter putting him on the table and like scaring him, and now he's like doing all the nice things for them. I don't think that he's probably going to be shown in the show again, and I don't think that he's the New York Ripper, although the age would match up. Sam, Joy's fiance. No. I mean, yeah, there was something about a drink that he wanted people to drink that would help out your abdominal area or something like that, but I don't think he's the New York Ripper because he hasn't been featured enough in the season to be like a gotcha moment, so I don't think it's Sam, Joy's fiance, that's Blessing's daughter. Then we have Cooper Morris. That is the guy that apparently killed Leon Prater's parents. I think there's a good chance he could be the New York Ripper. I don't think it's going to end up being him, but certainly it's a better chance than some of these random names that have been thrown out there. But if it is Cooper Morris, that would be a big disappointment to me because we haven't seen him yet this season, and maybe he shows up in episode 10. Who knows? Maybe we won't even find out in episode 10. Cody Bennett. That is a theory that Cody Leach had put in his video. I don't think it's a theory from him, just a theory that he had heard about. I hadn't heard about Cody Bennett. Of course, that's Rita's and Paul Bennett's son. That would be very interesting. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Astor Bennett. No. I don't know if we'll ever see Cody and Astor again. If we do see Cody and Astor, it will be a scenario where Dexter is captured and there's like headlines, Dexter Morgan, Miami Forensic, is the Bay Harbor Butcher all along. That's when we'll see Cody and Astor again in the show because they will have to show their reaction to that. And if Dexter is ultimately executed, which I don't think he will be, Dexter's not going to die again, I don't think at least, we might see them in the witness room or something like that, but I don't think it's going to be Cody or Astor, but it would be good to see Harrison's siblings again. Lumen and Pierce, of course, Julia Stiles' character from Season 5 of Dexter, who had some darkness in her. I don't think that she's the New York Ripper, and that's just a dumb idea because most serial killers are white males. Just going by the statistics there. So no, I don't think it's Lumen Pierce. Clark Sanders, that was the random cop that was in Dexter Original Sin, and he was very suspicious in Dexter Original Sin. I don't think that he's the New York Ripper, and we'll probably never see Clark again in the show. Claudette Wallace. Well, she's been obsessed with the New York Ripper for a long time. I don't think that Claudette is the New York Ripper. I think ultimately what might... Well, no, I don't want to get into spoilers for other things. I'll talk about that in a different segment of the video. But I don't think that Claudette is the New York Ripper. Joey Quinn, because he's from New York. No. Hannah McKay. Face the facts, everybody. Hannah McKay is dead. Died of pancreatic cancer. As much as I hate it, they've mentioned her twice now in Dexter Resurrection so far. Hannah, I don't think Hannah will ever be alive again, although we might see her as like somebody that Harrison sees that's not really there, like Dexter sees Harry. So Hannah McKay, she's not the New York Ripper. Al, a.k.a. Rapunzel. I think it would be an interesting twist if Rapunzel was actually the New York Ripper and these like ponytail killings were actually not happening and like they were fake, that video that he showed was fake and he's actually the New York Ripper. I don't think it's going to happen, but certainly it's something that I would not rule out. I give it like a 3 or 4% chance versus all these 0% chances. Charlie's mom. That's an interesting one. Somebody that's essentially bedridden at this point. No, she might be. People have said that she's a victim of the New York Ripper. I don't think that's the case either, because Claudette Wallace would be in her fucking room the whole time asking her questions. Captain Matthews. We don't know the fate of Captain Matthews yet. He might be dead because he's older, but he's probably 70s, maybe early 80s at this point. I don't think he's the New York Ripper, and I don't think we'll see Captain Matthews at this point anymore. Bobby Watt, that is the Harry's best friend in Dexter Original Sin Season 1, and he did get hurt in the end of Original Sin, but he survived. I don't think we'll see his character ever again, so I don't think it's Bobby Watt. Jonah Mitchell, Cody Leach's favorite theory on who the New York Ripper is. If Jonah Mitchell were like 10 years older, I could see that maybe being a possibility, but based on things they've thrown out there and the timelines, I don't think that Jonah Mitchell is the New York Ripper. And I think the most likely candidate, other than Melvin Oliva, is going to be someone we haven't been introduced to yet. Might be somebody big, might be somebody that's really not important. The only person that it's important to is Claudette Wallace. But I think it's either going to be Melvin Oliva or somebody that we haven't met yet. The Al Rapunzel, or Al, I think his name is Al Jolly. That would be interesting, but I don't think it's that. It's either Oliva or probably somebody that we haven't been introduced to yet, which is dumb. You know, they keep hinting to this New York Ripper thing, and then we haven't seen the character yet. Maybe, I don't know. Oliva's the only one that I think is a strong possibility. And now we have death predictions in Dexter Resurrection Season 1 finale. Dexter, no. Elsa, yes. I think if Rapunzel shows up, Elsa is dead. It's funny we didn't see Elsa. Well, it's not funny. It's a little concerning that we didn't see Elsa at all in episode 9. It's like, you know, the mold got fixed and now she's just gone. Is that what's going to happen with Elsa? I mean, she had a ponytail at times in this season. I suspect we'll see Al again, but I don't know if it'll be this season. But Elsa would be a strong death candidate for me. Charlie's mom. Yes, I could definitely see a scenario where Prater does something to kill Charlie's mom, especially if Charlie does something to piss him off. I don't know like how big of a focal point this gala event will be in the next episode, the finale, but certainly I could see Charlie's mom being killed by Leon Prater. Since he's now killed Batista, I don't know if that's the only person that he's killed, if Batista's really dead, of course, but I could see it happening. Leon Prater. Well, if now that Batista's dead, abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, he's now the big bad, although it's kind of funny to call Peter Dinklage big bad, but I was kind of wondering before, like, he hasn't killed anybody, and him and Dexter are relatively getting along really good. Like, does he really need to go on Dexter's table? But he kind of turned in episode 9, so yes, I do think Leon Prater will die in this season. Charlie. She hasn't done anything to die yet. Yeah, she killed a bad guy, but he deserved it. She's only doing this to pay for her mom's treatment, whatever that is. I don't think Charlie will die, and she will survive this season. Harrison. Now, if you watch the stream I did with CP or CPO of Willis Credia, I predicted that Harrison would die this season. Now, we've already had a death that's going to really affect Dexter, so I don't think Harrison will die anymore, but we got the death of Batista, which is, I think, far worse in my opinion. So, although it would be interesting if they did kill Harrison off, because what are they going to do with him next? Are they going to just kind of follow him, potentially being an officer of the law? I don't know, but I don't think he's going to die. Gigi. If Gigi's not connected with anybody else, and Prater, the whole gala thing isn't the big focal point of the episode, it's maybe like 5 to 10 minutes of it, I could see a scenario where Gigi dies, but I don't think she's going to die. If any female's going to die, it's going to be Elsa. Melvin Oliva. No. I think we're going to get a reveal of him at the end of the episode. If, of course, he's the New York Ripper, but he's probably not. It's probably somebody we don't know. Claudette Wallace. If she finds some stuff out, I could see a scenario where she is killed, but I don't think it's going to happen. She might be the end game of this show. Now with Batista gone, who's the person that's going to capture Dexter? I don't know who that's going to be. I don't really think it's going to be Joey Quinn. Like, if he gets around Dexter, he's probably dead too. So I don't think Wallace or Oliva are going to die. Stefan, that's Harrison's boss again at the Empire Hotel. He's kind of pointless, so I don't think he's going to die. Although he could. Lance, that's Harrison's buddy that he sold Dexter's truck to. His death wouldn't really mean anything to the show. If they prop him up more in season 2, I could see him dying, so I don't predict him. Al. I don't know if Al's going to be in the finale or not. We're led to believe that he's going back to Wisconsin, but maybe not. If we see him in season 1, I could see him dying. He kills Elsa, and then Dexter gets him and kills him, but I'm going to say no. I think they're going to save him for season 2 or maybe a season 3 thing. Blessing. I just realized on my New York Ripper theory, Blessing was not listed as one of those candidates. I thought I had him there. So I don't think that Blessing is the New York Ripper, by the way. I think he's just a red herring, and we've maybe early on in this show there was something suspicious about him, but I think there's no chance in hell that he's the New York Ripper. Now, as far as him dying in this season, if the episode doesn't take place at the gala the whole time and, Leon Prater's vault, I could see a scenario where Blessing dies, but ultimately, I think we're going to have Blessing again in the show. Joy, Blessing's daughter. No, I don't think so. I think she's safe. I don't know if she'll ever get used much anymore. Sam, her husband, or fiance, I should say. No, he hasn't done enough in the show yet. Constance, Blessing's wife. No, but there is something weird with all those cats. But I don't think that Blessing is a killer, and I don't think anybody in that family will die. Now I'm going to talk about returning characters for the finale. Spoiler alert, one at least I thought was confirmed. So if you don't want to know spoilers, maybe tune out for like 30 seconds. Brian Moser. Brian Moser was on the set of Dexter Resurrection, and he hasn't been used yet. There's been archive footage of Brian Moser, as there has been of Hannah McKay, Rita Bennett, and other characters on the show. Brian should be in the finale, unless they were just doing that to tease us, so I do think we'll see Brian Moser. I'm not sure how much we'll see him, and if we'll ever see him again after this episode, assuming he's in the episode. Lumen Pierce. Lumen from Season 5, played by Julia Stiles, that I've already talked about being the New York Ripper that people have theorized. I think we will see Lumen. I don't know if it's going to be in the finale, though, but I think at some point, especially, Dexter has to make a trip to the Midwest. Well, actually, you know what? He doesn't have to make a trip to the Midwest. He could have Charlie organize another dinner party with Prater already dead, assuming Charlie and Dexter are on the same page, and then that brings Al back to New York. But I don't think that Lumen will be in this season. But if he goes to Wisconsin or, the Midwest, we will see Lumen Pierce again. That's my prediction. Joey Quinn, or Joseph Quinn. We've seen him twice now. I don't think we see him again, but I suspect we'll see him again in a future season. Season 2, everybody thinks that he's going to be like a main character in Season 2. I guess it's possible, but, he's a lieutenant at Miami Metro right now. And, does he have all the money still that he can just take a lot of time off to go to New York City for, weeks on end? I don't know, but I don't think we see Quinn in the finale. Vince Masuka. I don't think we see Masuka, and honestly, I don't think we see Masuka again in the series. I don't see a scenario where Masuka would come back, unless, of course, Dexter goes back to work at Miami Metro. That would be the only scenario where I think that we'd see Masuka again, unless Quinn just brings him along to, it wouldn't make sense. Captain Matthews, or former Captain Tom Matthews. He's pretty old now, getting up there. He might be in his 80s by now, maybe late 70s. I feel like if we would have saw Matthews, we would have saw him already, so I don't think we'll see Captain Matthews. And then lastly, I have some plot predictions here, which I've kind of already touched upon some of these, so this will be me repeating some information. I do think that Gigi is potentially bad, either related to Charlie, related to Oliva, or potentially being funded by Leon Prater, which doesn't necessarily make her bad, but she's connected with Prater and might end up being bad. Dexter will not be killed, contrary to what people think. We've already lost Batista now. There's no way we're losing Dexter. Charlie, I think Charlie will survive. I don't see a reason why Dexter would put her on his table. He's already going to have Prater, I think. Unless somebody kills Charlie, like Harrison shoots her, or some random character out of nowhere comes, like Gigi, and shoots her. So I guess that's a possibility. Will he go back to Miami? I don't know. I don't think it'll be this season or next season, but maybe in like the final season of the show, that's very possible that Dexter might have to go back to Miami to get extradited, to, be tried for the murders of all those people if he gets caught. That is. Dexter will kill Al in season 2, most likely. I do think that will happen, and I think he will see Lumen Pierce again. I'm really confident that Lumen will return. The fans really want Lumen back. I would rather have Hannah back, new footage of Hannah, but I think we'll see Lumen back, and the legendary Crazy Coffee Man just smiled like you wouldn't believe. I already talked about this already, but I'm not sure if Quinn will return as much as we think he will. Maybe he will, but I just feel like he's just going to leave his job as a lieutenant to, chase a lead that he doesn't know unless he hooks up. Well, I guess he can hook up with Claudette, and then she can tell him about Dexter Morgan. And I don't even know if Quinn and Masuka know that Dexter Morgan is alive again. Do they? That has not been confirmed yet. So I guess that's possible, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I just don't think if Quinn gets near Dexter, Quinn will die too. I don't think he... Well, actually, Quinn might be more understanding of what Dexter does, and I could see him teaming up with Dexter more than Batista, because he hasn't really lost anybody super important. I mean, obviously Batista, but Dexter didn't kill any of those people. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I've already mentioned this. Lumen will return in season 2 or maybe season 3. Jamie Batista, I forgot about her. I think at some point, if Batista's really dead, we've got to see Jamie Batista. We've got to have like a funeral for... Maybe we have a funeral for Batista or something in Miami. That's where we can get Quinn back and Masuka back and Jamie Batista back and Matthews and Soderquist and all these Miami Metro people. Possible. Aster, Cody, Harrison, we'll never know. And then I've already talked about this, but we won't get Aster and Cody until Dexter is announced as the Bay Harbor Butcher, which I think is the case, but maybe they'll show up at a funeral or something like that. I guess that's always possible. So those are the predictions I have right now as far as it goes for Dexter Resurrection, season 1 finale, and of course future events in Dexter Resurrection. Again, if you already know the spoilers for the finale, I ask that you don't post them in the comment section. If you want to leave a comment, just say, hey, awesome video, JDev, or you are terrible, I'm unsubscribing, which that happens sometimes. I'm prepared for it. And then, of course, you've heard all my predictions. If you have predictions of your own, make sure that you leave those in the comment section. Hulk smash the like button to avoid being put on my table and wrapped in plastic. Share it with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. I mentioned to sound off in the comments about your predictions for Dexter Resurrection. The predictions of mine that you like the most, any future predictions, remember I'll be in the comments section, obviously, but the legendary Crazy Coffee Man, T. Parker Evans, Vinny Lima, Brad Hawk Talk, Rusty Reels, Troy McClure, and all my Dexter fanatics will also be in the comments section. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe, motherfucker. Help me get over 100k subs. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.